It's now time to introduce the next starting lineup. We'll begin first with Wichita Heights, the visitors tonight, and head coach Varsity. First up is 5'8" soccer guard, referee Kennedy Jackson. First up for Kapaun Carmel, who's on the floor. Our 5'4" junior guard, Teddy. Next up for the Falcons, a 5'5" sophomore guard, Brown. And for Kapaun, next up is 5'4" senior guard, Sophia Jamino. For the visitors from outside, next is 5'8" junior guard, number 5, Mayberry. And next for the Crusaders, 5'9" senior forward, number 12, Who's number 5'10", sophomore guard, number 22, Zari Walker. And for the Carmel, 5'8" sophomore forward, number 13, Andy Spears. Rounding out the starting five for Wichita Heights, 5'10" sophomore forward, number 33, Evan George. And rounding out our starting five for Carmel, 5'7" sophomore guard, number 23,
Hello and welcome to Cape Mount Carmel Catholic High School, home of your Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders, who tonight will be facing the Wichita Heights Falcons. It's been an exciting matchup for both sides, as the Heights Falcons come in 4-3 and Cape at 4-4. So Andrew, of course, as I just mentioned, exciting matchup and a big moment in the Cape Mount Carmel season. This will be a big statement game for them going forward. What do you expect?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. This will be a very evenly matched matchup. Both teams play to their strengths, and they're just looking for a big win here to turn their season around, get some morale.
Well, I mean, this is a very winnable game for Cape. They've shown they've had big games where they've scored a lot of points. That's something they have to do here tonight, as Heights is a great offensive team. However, sometimes it goes through cold streaks. They put up a lot of shots from the three-point line. Sometimes those don't always fall, but they do a great job of crashing the board on offense and getting those second chances. So, you know, kind of the keys for Cape here tonight are going to be making sure their offensive production is up to scuff, and going to need to get those defensive rebounds. And we'll get started here with the tip, as Rome are able to win it for Cape, and Maddie Spears will start it off. He takes it right to the hoop. Left-handed layup is no good as it rolls out, but rebound is on the ground, and it looks like jump ball going to be called right out of the gates. And now it'll be Falcons ball.
Wow, it looked like Kapaun started out really fast there. They're looking to score some quick buckets to get on top.
Exactly right, but Andrew, I mean, those are kind of those opportunities where, you know, Spears had a wide open lane to the basket, and she's going to have to capitalize on those opportunities. They all are, if they want to come ahead in this game.
Yeah, later down the road, that could be a missed opportunity that they wish that they had back.
Now a turnover here. Looks like Walker took one too many steps. And now Jamina will bring it up for KMC. Jones scans the defense, finds Wofford. And Wofford has been a great source of offense for the Crusaders so far here this season. She's definitely going to be a key player for the Crusaders tonight. And there's Lizzie Romer opening up the scoring with a made three.
And if Lizzie Romer stays hot tonight, the Crusaders have a great chance of winning and making it comfortable too.
Exactly right, Andrew. Really, the Cape Mount Carmel offense almost solely runs through their two stars. And after it looks like foul going to be called on Sophia Jamino, that will send Myra Mayberry to the line for two. That's first personal foul for Jamino and first team foul as well. But as I was mentioning, Andrew, they're going to look to Sophia Jamino and Lizzie Romer a lot here tonight. Both of them are great scorers, obviously, but both also have potential to be great passers, and the offense can really facilitate through them.
Yeah, they're both great senior leaders, and this team will really miss them next year.
Well, Romer still has one more year. She's a junior.
Well, they're both great upperclassmen leaders, and they're helping these underclassmen starters and players fit into their roles and learn a little bit more about high school basketball.
Thank you, right now. Lucky break here as the ball ends up off of the Falcons. And something that Kapaun wasn't really expecting is, in recent games, Heights has not come out in a press, but here they are. And the press working excellently here. Another turnover. And now Heights with the possession. Let's see what they can do with it. As Mayberry has it on the arc. Now Jamino tries to force the ball out, and she does, but then that's going to be a quick kick out and make by Brown, number 4.
Heights is really playing very aggressive here. That might be their game plan. Force some turnovers and poke the ball out of Kapaun's hands and put them on the defensive.
And it looks like Brown picks up her first personal. Team foul number 1 as well. And Kapaun down by 2, really looking to get things even here with this possession. Now Jones has it. Facing some high defense. Rarely do you see someone come out that far. But regardless, Heights really sticking to their man defense. Just face guarding their assignments. And now Jamino finds a break, but then she's going to kick it out to Romer. And Romer blocked. Now Romer gets her own rebound, puts one up for the mid-range, and she scores another. That brings it to 5. Great job there by Romer.
Yeah, Heights is really putting pressure on Kapaun, and as you saw there, Romer is still finding ways to score after the block, getting those second chance opportunities.
Now cross-court pass finds Jackson, and Jackson's 3 off the mark. Now Walker has it underneath the basket. She will be fouled, however. Let's see who this is on. Looks like Tilly Jones picks up her first second team foul. Now Walker will take the 4th and 5th free throws for Heights here tonight. And the first one no good. See what she can do with the second. Able to knock it down. Now the press once again. This time Jones finds Jamino with a cross-court pass, and now Romer on the other end with it. Nice little move, gets the layup. Romer with all 7 of Kapaun's points.
Romer's just finding a way to score. They just keep getting the ball to her, and she just keeps delivering. Those crisp passes are what KMC builds their offense on, and as you saw right there, they love to create opportunities.
And now Maddie Spears with the steal. And as you were saying, when you're passing, obviously a key component to the offense. The other thing is Romer's doing a great job of driving to the basket, not settling for the 3. I mean, obviously she made her first shot and it was blocked on another 3-point attempt. But she's doing a great job of getting inside and penetrating the defense in order to get some shots up there. Looks like Emily Jacobs checks in for the first time here for KMC, and additionally it looks like Gant as well as Christman come in for Heights. And now Romer kicks it to Jamino. And again, Heights playing really high defense here, really putting on the pressure. And now Jacobs gets it inside, unable to hit the turnaround jumper. And now Jacobs with another attempt, this time from the mid-range. That one no good. Now Spears with the steal. However, that's going to be called a foul. And that's Spears' first personal, team foul number 3.
Yeah, that last shot are just shots that KMC needs to knock down if they want to stay competitive here. They are winning, but if they want to put a lead on Heights, they need to knock those down.
Right on point there. Now inside, that's Chrisman, and her shot is good. And that puts Heights back on top. As Spears really pushing the pressure, and Romer's 3 no good. Now hard-fought rebound ends up in the hands of Chrisman. Now up the court, way up, no good from Jackson. The foul going to be called. And that'll be on Emily Jacobs, her first personal. Now team foul number 4 for Kapaun. And you know, you don't want to head into the second quarter with too many of those.
Yeah, Kapaun has been putting on that pressure, and Heights seems to be dealing with it well, drawing the fouls and hitting to the free throw line and getting some buckets. They've been pretty good so far.
Jackson's first attempt off the mark. Now Jackson's second attempt here. That's good. Now Kapaun down by 2. Jamino gonna plow over. Looks to be Gant. And instead it looks like foul gonna be called. Or no, excuse me, it looks like there's a travel on Jamino. So Heights will have it under the basket. And here comes Jackson. Jackson from the mid-range. Looked like that was tipped, but no, foul gonna be called. That'll be on Spears. Sorry, what did I say?
And Heights seems to be getting all the calls to go their way thus far. They've really, that tight defense has proved to be pretty good against the Kapaun inbound, and it's forcing Kapaun to make some silly passes that'll cause a turnover.
Now Sadie Sanders checks into the game for KMC. You know, as you were saying there, Andrew, I mean, part of the reason Heights is getting so many calls is they're playing physical ball. And so, I mean, a lot of those times, I mean, if you play physical enough, you're going to have to force the ref's hand. He's going to have to blow his whistle. And it looks like returning to the game is Gilbert for Heights. Now Jamino facing the press, is going to draw a foul. That one going to be on Gant. Her first personal, team foul number 3 for Heights. Now Jamino gets it to Sanders. Now back to Jamino. And the pressure drops off as Jamino able to bring it up the court for KMC. Now kick out to Jamino. Results in nothing. Now it looks like a moving screen going to be called on the Walker.
And another opportunity on the offensive side that does not go Kapaun's way. Seems like just silly mistakes have been what's causing these lack of scoring.
And Andrew, with 16 fouls with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter, I mean, Kapaun are really going to have to be careful here these final minutes. They don't want to spend the entire second quarter in the bonus. Or with Heights in the bonus, excuse me. A nice block there by Heights now will result in and out of bounds situation where Kapaun will have it under their own basket. And Romer will inbound. Let's see what Kapaun can draw up here. Wofford gets in the corner, gets it out to Jamino. Looking to slow it down, gather themselves as Jamino tries to find a lane, but Heights playing great defense. And now a full court pass ends up in the hands of Jackson. Jackson with the layup. That is no good. Great defense there by Romer. Now Sadie Sanders is stripped. And maybe a little miscommunication there. Half court resolves itself as Wofford gets it to Romer. Now Jamino slows things down, allows the offense to set up. Gets it over, and Romer gets it over to Jacobs, I should say. Now inside to Wofford. Wofford drives, puts up a shot, and that is blocked.
And Heights just keeps blocking and forcing turnovers on KMC every time they try to get an opportunity to go or a shot. Heights is right there playing that aggressive defense and forcing something to go the other way.
Looks like timeout can be called by Heights. Maybe their first thing in 4 remaining. But overall, just it's not a horrible game. A good competition here tonight. That being said, Kapaun, as we mentioned in the pregame, the key to them succeeding, going down the final stretch of the first quarter into the second quarter, they're going to have to pick it up on the offensive end of the court. All 7 of the points that come from Lizzie Romer, other people are going to have to start stepping up. And you see Wofford trying to fill that role. She's been taking good shots that have been blocked, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she's doing a good job of driving the ball. And eventually, as we mentioned with Heights, the more physical you play, the more you'll force the ref's hand in blowing the whistle. So we'll see what Kapaun decides to do here down the stretch, but definitely something to keep in mind as we prepare to enter the second quarter. Only 2 minutes remaining in the first.
And I would say Kapaun just needs to get the ball into the hands of their scorers and relax, slow down the game, and do what they know works.
And there, Jamino coming out of that timeout with a little bit of spice and able to get that one to fall, and so she'll head to the line for a potential 3-point play. I was getting ready to say there just after you mentioned that these transition points, these times that they do a good job on defense, get the turnover, they've got to capitalize on those defensive stops and the turnovers. And Jamino does just that, ties it all up at 10. Great job there by the senior.
Yeah, great way to come out of the timeout and come firing, scoring and tying it up. This is big. Just shows how evenly matched these teams are. That we're almost finished with the first period and it's all tied at 10.
And a real tight contest here. Let's see what Heights can do on offense. As that's Mayberry kicks it inside, and travel going to be called is Chrisman. A little bit of a misstep there. Now she'll head to the bench in favor of Clemens. And here comes Kapaun with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, that misstep by Heights could allow KMC to take the lead right here if they're smart with it. Let's see.
And it looks like another foul going to be called, this time on Mayberry. And now we talked about Kapaun getting into foul trouble early with 16 fouls. Now Heights with 5 team fouls, so they're in the same position.
Yeah, that aggressive defense seems to be not working as well as it did at the first half of this period.
And Jamino stripped after a hard-fought rebound. And heading it away with his Mayberry. Mayberry pulls up from 3. That is good. Now facing a press, Jamino double-teamed. He's going to draw the foul with 52 and change left on the clock. And so That's team foul number 6. So both teams will enter the second quarter in real foul trouble. We're going to be potentially seeing a lot of free throws here as we end the first half. And you see here, the Heights pressure drops off. It's something you might not expect here at the end of quarter situation, but regardless, Jamino takes it full court. Nice little layup, up and under goes. Now with 40 and change left to go, we'll see what Heights can do. Kapaun potentially trying to get one more possession out of this quarter. That's all going to have to rely on their defense.
And Jamino has been playing great out of that timeout. She has really been a key part of their scoring, just creating opportunities and bringing that leadership to be able to make some plays.
Now Jamino with 10 and change on the clock. Drives, puts up a shot, and that's no good. However, foul going to be called. With 2.7 seconds. Just under 3 to go. And so Jamino not only heads to the line with an opportunity to take the lead, but also draws Heights' 7th team foul. So Kapaun will start the second quarter in the bonus. First free throw, no good. Let's see if she can tie it up with this one.
And throughout the season, Jamino has been very good from the free throw line. She seems to always use those opportunities to put points on the board for her team. Never a wasted trip to the free throw line.
So now Heights, looks like a shot from Walker is not going to count there. And I shouldn't say it's not going to count. It's going to be intercepted by Jacobs. And so we head into the second quarter of play, all tied up at 13. Great contest so far. And Andrew, what were your key takeaways?
Yeah, as we keep saying, this is just a very evenly matched contest. Both teams coming in, very even records, and they just show it on the court. 13-13, both teams have showed great bright spots, and then also some low spots that they can improve on in the second period. KMC finds those opportunities, and they just need to score on them. They find the opportunities, but they haven't been able to capitalize. And Heights, that press seems to be working until they cause maybe too many fouls. And so they're going to maybe stay aggressive coming out of this, or they'll back off.
And you hit the nail on the head there, Andrew, and we'll head right back into the action here. Kapaun will start out with the ball. Looks like some players checking in here. Here we go. Just getting situated as looks like Heights making some substitutions now. As looks like Gant and Clemens make the return. Here we go as Jones looks around, finds Jake at the top of the key. And back to Romer. As we said in the first quarter, Romer really being a key contributor for Kapaun Carmel. As Wofford loses it, ends up in the hands of Romer. She chucks one up for 3, and that is good. A little bit of a chaotic assist, but nevertheless, that gives Romer 10 points on the night. And 10 out of 16 is a pretty good point distribution.
Yeah, she's been really hot, shooting from everywhere on the field, and she can't seem to miss a shot.
And now Heights just swinging around the arc, trying to find an open lane to the basket. Now Walker has it. Comes back out to Gant. Gant for 3. That is good. Able to respond to Romer's 3 with one of their own. And now all tied up at 16. Now Jamino gets it to Romer. Romer able to knock that one down.
And Romer just showing why she's a big part of this KMC offense, leading her team to those buckets, and as they answer back to that Heights three-pointer.
And some contact but no foul as looks like Mayberry drives, spins, and now kicks it back out. And that's Gant in the corner. Gant for 3. Not good on that attempt. And now Jamino able to get the rebound. It looks like Wofford takes a hard hit at the other end of the floor. Jones unable to convert on the layup. And now on the way back up after the rebound, Jamino will be fouled. And Wofford a little bit slow. Looks like she's going to be okay.
Jamino doing what she does best, drawing the foul and heading to the free throw line. Let's see if she can knock these down.
Chance to make it a 2-possession game. And able to knock down the first. There's now some substitutions. For Heights, it looks like Chrisman, Jackson, and Brown re-enter the game. And for Cape Mount Carmel, it looks like Hawker will take the spot of Wofford. And Jamino, second attempt, is going to be good as well. Now Heights brings it back down the court. Jackson surveying, finds Brown. And Andrew, I mean, Heights obviously not getting what they want from themselves on offenses. I mean, they had a great offensive explosion there midway through the first quarter, but since then, things have not been as free-flowing. They've had a few threes, and we really see Walker, but what are some key things you think they need to look forward to in this game?
Well, I think that they should try to go back to that three-pointer. It seems to be working, and if they create those opportunities, I'm sure that it will fall. They have some great shooters, and they just need to create the opportunities for them.
Now Hawker has it. She finds Jacobs. Now Jacobs gets it to Jones. And Cape's doing a great job of really just passing the ball. They're not dribbling it too much, not putting it up for potential turnovers. The foul going to be called. And it looks like Hawker going to draw one. And Gilbert picks up her first personal foul, team foul number 9 for Heights. So on the verge of putting Cape into the double bonus.
And that aggressive defense that we saw at the very beginning, it doesn't look like it's been working later in the game, as they're in bad foul trouble.
And there's that offensive rebound. And we talked about in the pregame that they do a great job. Heights does a great job of getting to the offensive rebounds. And there's another one. This is a third chance opportunity now for Heights. And eventually now Jackson takes it up for the layup, and she gets fouled. And that's something that Capeman's really going to have to hone in on if they want to stay ahead in this game. They've really got to get those defensive rebounds. And that's also team foul number 7, as Romer picks up her first. And so now Heights will also be in the bonus, and with 4:36 left to go, both sides not in a great position, at least in the fouls. In the foul count. And no, Andrew, I mean, do you think either of these sides need to start, maybe letting a little gas off the break, or playing conservative ball, or do you think they keep doing what they kind of plan on doing?
Well, I'd say both sides need to be a little bit more disciplined here. Maybe back off a lot. It's a very aggressive contest, as Heights is only losing by 2 points. They're just trying to create every opportunity and get those turnovers. So I don't know what the game plans are, but I would say back off a little bit, maybe calm down and focus on scoring.
And they get a nice break there as they get the jump ball call. That results in nothing as now Germino has it going their way for Kapaun. An impromptu layup ends up off the backboard. And after a heavy collision, it looks like Germino will head to the line for 2 shots. Also team foul number 10 for Heights. And as we mentioned, with over 4 minutes left to play, not a good position to be in, especially when you're trailing. Germino now has an opportunity to put them up by 4. They will hit the first. And looking to make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, Gabe.
Sorry, I was just going to say Gant re-enters the game for Heights.
Yeah, I think that Heights really needs to stay away from Germino because every time she's fouled, she will hit those free throws. Except for that one right there.
But you know what? You're exactly right. She's a very consistent free throw shooter. And you see how frustrated she gets when she misses just one. Now we have Heights on the other end of the floor, down by 3 with an opportunity to get ahead. But now, tie things up. But none of that's going to matter as now Germino kicks out to Romer. Romer for 3. That is no good, but Germino able to get the rebound, and wow. Another and one opportunity for Germino, and now Germino with a chance to catch up with Romer. And, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the game, but Kapaun really, their offense flows through Germino and Romer. And if you look at the points distribution, I should say, excuse me, it's very evident. I mean, 23 total points, now 24 total points, and each of both Germino and Romer both have 12. So all of their points coming from Germino and Romer.
Yeah, and those are KMC's key scores, period. Get the ball to them, and it will be a good game. If they are hot, the team will do well. But if they slow down, the team may find some struggles.
Now foul going to be called. Going to be on Wofford for second personal, team foul number 8. And Mr. Gilbert's first shot can be off the mark as Wofford heads to the bench and Emily Jacobs checks in. Looks like additionally Hawker was able to slip in with Maddie Spears. And now Hawker with the steal gets it to Germino. Germino surveys the floor, slows it down for the offense to develop. And with a little bit of mismatch, gets it to Hawker instead. Now Romo up top with it, gets it back to Jacobs. Germino has it in the corner. And the Kapaun offense really doing great here in the second quarter. And as I mentioned earlier, Kapaun doing a great job of driving to the basket. And Germino, the majority of her points have come to the stripe. And that's the main reason. When coaches are telling you to drive to the basket, now Jackson with some transition opportunity, unable to hit the free throw. And now Jacobs with the rebound. And now a full court pass ends up out of bounds. That's off the Heights, so Kapaun with the 10 possession. But as I was saying earlier, when a coach is telling you to drive to the basket, 9 out of 10 times he's not really telling you to drive to the basket because he wants you to make baskets. He very much, it's a great way to score a basket. I'm not saying it isn't. But 9 out of 10 times, it's so you have opportunities to draw fouls. As we said earlier, the more physical you play, the more the ref is going to have to blow his whistle.
Yeah, and KMC is just taking advantage of that bonus and getting everything out of it that they possibly can.
Now Tilly Jones checks in. Yes, Tilly Jones checks in as Maddie Spears heads to the bench. And Germino drives, kicks out to Romer. Now Romer looks around, gets it to Jacobs. Jacobs, way up good. Jacobs with the first basket. Also the first basket not made by either Romer or Germino.
Yeah, that just shows how key they are to this offense. We keep saying it time and time again. Without them, I don't know where this team would be tonight.
As now, after another missed shot from Jackson, Kapaun with a chance to go up by 10. Now Jamino in the corner takes a shot from 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson intercepted by Jones. Overshot her target there. As it looks like she was trying to get Gilbert on her way to the basket.
And it seems to be falling apart for Heights here. They were coming out of the gates really strong. And now they're playing a little bit of sloppy basketball, causing turnovers. I mean, they did get a turnover right there on KMC.
See what they can do in transition.
Yep.
Nice come from behind, blocked there by Jacobs.
But as I was saying, those are shots that Heights needs to make on those opportunities. The missed opportunities keep racking up for them.
And with under a minute left, Kapaun looking to get one more solid possession in. And I don't even know what to call that.
I'd
It
say
looks
that
like Jamino fell as she shot, somehow ended up with the ball, and it looks like at that point, Coach Graff called a timeout. Probably didn't anticipate her making such a great pass there, but regardless, a timeout for KMC.
yeah,
44 seconds remaining.
I'd say right there that was a pretty good example of Jamino's playmaking skills. She's able anywhere on the court to get a pass to her teammates, to set up that opportunity. Even there, that unconventional way, whatever happened right there.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get a play in basketball that really surprises you. But regardless, it looks like now coming out of timeout, Kapaun will have it under their own basket. Or no, excuse me, they'll have it on the sideline. Now Jones to inbound. Looks around, finds Hawker. Now Hawker in the corner in trouble, finds Romer, but that's off of Romer's shin and heading the other way. Walker kicks it up to Jackson. Jackson, way up good.
Heights able to do something from that opportunity, climb the KMC lead down to 6 right before the end of half.
And now Jamino looks around. And it's like 5-second violation there.
About a little under 10 seconds left in the first half. Let's see what Heights can do right here.
And now Jackson drives, puts up a shot, and no good as the buzzer sounds. And with that, the halftime score is 26-20 as we step aside for the KMC Palmas.
Go.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of action in the Cape Mount Carmel vs. Heights matchup. And the KMC girls up by 6 as we enter the second half of play. So here we go. Cape starting out with the ball. As now Wofford has it top of the key. Gets it over to Jones. And I think the biggest thing here is we're going to see how Heights responds to what Capen did in the first half. Obviously, Jamino and Romer are the two key contributors for Capen, and we're going to see how their defense responds. And you see them really sticking to their zone here. Not something I would have expected, maybe more of a face guard situation, more on man, but they're sticking to their zone, and here it seemed to work up until that foul. But I mean, what do you think about that, Andrew?
Yeah, they're really trying to limit the scoring from from Jamino and Romer, two key factors in KMC's success in the first half, and limiting them would force KMC to go to other offensive players and maybe create some opportunities for them to miss. And KMC coming out of this is just looking to continue what they did in the first half, playing good defense and getting rebounds.
And so now Jamino brings it up after the made basket, of course. Wofford making both the free throws on the other end of the court, but exactly right there, Andrew. And really hit on the head there. Now Romer for 3. That is good. And Romer now with 15 points on the night and 3 made threes. Just phenomenal play from her.
She's staying hot even after the half, continued on her momentum from all those shots in the first half, really just knocking everything down. And, quick timeout here by Heights, and I really like this call by their coach, just because now you're down by 8. I mean, you headed into this half down by 6, now down by 8. But if Heights wants to come back in this game, they're going to have to start that comeback now. That's not something you really want to push till the later stages of this game. They're going to have to start now. They're going to have to get something going on offense, and more importantly, they're going to have to stop the production from Jamino and Romer. Yeah, they are going to really need to figure out what their problem is, and they're going to need to get that tight defense going again and forcing some turnovers.
And now Jackson inbound for Heights out of the timeout. Looks like Mayberry will start off with it. And Heights really slowing it down. And I think the biggest key to their offensive production is going to be just running their offense. I mean, you see them speeding it up a little bit here, but they're going to have to take this methodically if they want to prevent those turnovers. And great job there to get it inside, but now on the floor, it's going to end up a jump ball. But still, I really like that inside feed to Chrisman. And that's I definitely, we talked about, in the first half, how a key for Capen is going to be driving to the basket, drawing those fouls. That being said, that's something Heights can use as well. I mean, getting to the line as much as possible. Because, I mean, you saw Capen commit all those fouls, but a lot of those were just, reach-in fouls on the floor and not shooting fouls. And so, I mean, a key for Heights here is going to be getting to the line as much as possible.
Yeah, KMC was not as disciplined as they would have liked in that first half, and Heights is really trying to exploit that and create some opportunities. One thing I noticed is it looks like Heights is playing really tense here. They're not really calm and collected. They're really feeling this 8-point deficit, and they're trying to make the most of it, but it just doesn't seem to be going their way.
Now Romer going to be fouled on her way to the basket. Walker there going to pick one up. That's her first personal foul, team foul number 2. And Heights really going to have to limit these fouls early on here. I mean, already with 2 as we have 6:03 remaining in the third quarter. Because, I mean, as much as we talk about this comeback, that's going to be near impossible if they head into the fourth quarter with Capen already in the bonus.
Yeah, if they revert back to the ways of the first half and all that fouling, like you said, it will be near impossible. KMC has great free throw shooters, and they will you will pay the price for fouling them.
Now Mayberry shot off. Great rebound there by Jamino. And now some tough fighting for the rebound. And it's a great job there by Mayberry to get a jump ball. There's a lot of scenarios there. I'm surprised the ref withheld his whistle. But Heights able to catch the break there. The jump ball still Capen's possession. Now Maddie Spears in the corner, trapped. Let's see if she can get out of this. And instead it looks like Spears stepped out of bounds, so Mayberry will inbound. Another turnover for KMC. But leading by 10, the biggest thing for them here is going to be playing good defense. I mean, to be truthful, they could probably just give it to Romer every single possession on offense. As long as they're playing good defense, they're probably going to come out on top. As Romer's been unstoppable there with a rebound. But Romer, just great basketball here tonight from her. So really excited to see what she can do with the rest of the game.
And I've always heard you say this, Gabe, but great defense leads into great offense. And that looks like what KMC is trying to do, force those missed shots by Heights and then feed it to their playmakers.
Exactly right. And now Wofford, great drive and great basket. And that gives her her first field goal of the night, 3 total points, and pushes the Cape in the lead now to 12. And Heights, with only one made basket here in the second half, really have to get something going on offense. Jackson drives, puts up a shot. That is good from the paint. And now Spears has it, gets it to Jamino. Jamino slowing things down. And we will see a little bit more man defense now. We saw Heights come out in that zone, and Jamino able to cook her man. And wow, great job there by Jamino with the mid-range pull-up. But as I was saying, on defense, you see Heights come out with a little bit more of a zone out of the half. And now we see them switch to a man defense. Why do you think that is, Andrew?
I think they realize their mistake and that they really need to focus on Jamino and Romer. Those are Capen's key playmakers, and they keep showing Heights that time and time again. And Heights finally figured that out, and now they potentially have a way to stop that.
And now first free throw off the mark from Trisman. As McCoy Pfister checks into the game. And she makes her first appearance here tonight. And she's a great source of offense off the bench for KMC, so very exciting to see her into the game now for the Crusaders. And after 2 missed free throws, we'll see what Pfister can do right away. Pfister splits 2 men, loses it, but now gets it over to Romer. Romer, double teamed, gets it inside Jamino. Great find and great layup. Jamino now with 16, just behind Romer with 17 points, and the KMC offense is humming right now. Jackson, no good on the field goal. And Andrew, I mean, we keep talking about how vital it's going to be for Heights to drive to the basket. When we saw Jackson on a previous possession just drive to the basket, she was able to make the layup. And, you know, part of the reason I think the Heights Falcons have not been able to produce on offense is just the poor shot selection. And so, I mean, if they want to get back in this game, that's definitely going to have to be something they fix, excuse me.
Yeah, they found early success in the three-pointer, and they just kept going back to that. They kept thinking that it would work, and it hasn't. They need to go into the paint and try to force a foul and maybe get some points that way.
Exactly. That interior penetration is definitely going to be a key for them heading down the home stretch. And now Loffer has the top of the key, gets it to Jacobs. Jacobs inside the Pfister. Great find there by the center. And Pfister with her first points of the evening. That extends the Cape in the lead now to 16 points. And it's becoming less and less likely that Heights will come back in this game. But, you know, never say never. That was a nice move there by Mayberry on the block. And see what Cape can do to respond.
And Gabe, one thing I love about this KMC team is that they have great players at every class level. As you saw, Pfister, great offensive weapon. She's only a freshman, and that gives you a good glimpse of KMC basketball in the future. Jamino, a great leader as a senior, really is giving that experience to everyone.
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, Romer as a junior, and you have multiple sophomores. You have probably the best example, Maddie Spears and Phoebe Wofford. They've been playing great for KMC so far here this season. You mentioned Pfister as a freshman, but also 2 other key freshmen. You have Hawker, and you also have Emily Jacobs at the center position. And, another key sophomore, Jesse Kemp. But regardless, let's see what KMC can do on offense, up by 12. Pfister drives, loses it, but she'll be fouled. And we mentioned this earlier in the quarter, that Heights was going to have to watch their foul trouble. And they've done just that. I mean, after picking up 2 fouls within the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, they haven't picked one up since now with just their 3rd team foul as we are about to cross over the 2:30 threshold. And now Gant kicks it over to Mayberry as Heights has it on offense. And now a tough drive there by Mayberry ends in a foul. And there it is. I mean, the more they drive, the more fouls they'll get, and the more opportunities they'll have to score at the free throw line.
And Gabe, we'll see if they're able to capitalize on these free throws. But that inside paint, that seems to be where Heights is going to mount the comeback tonight.
And now we see Mayberry make her first, and now with an opportunity to cut the Kapaun lead back to 10 points. As it looks like Gilbert will return for a Heights, and Phoebe Wofford checks in as Emily Jacobs heads to the sideline. And now Mayberry's second attempt up and good. And now Heights showing a little bit of pressure on the inbound, but McCoy Pfister doing a great job of getting it across half court. Now in trouble, tries to find Spears, but that ball knocked loose. And after a tussle for it at the half court line, Pfister ends up with it. She shoots a 3-point shot. That is no good. And now heading the other way. And fans not happy with that call. It looks like they're saying it came off of Spears' hands and out of bounds.
And Gabe, great job by Heights forcing that turnover right there, forcing a bad pass, tough shots. They're really putting the pressure on KMC, really trying to get back in this game and trying to put a dent in that lead.
And here we go as now Mayberry brings it up. And she's been a source of offense here for the Falcons tonight. She has 10 points. After a missed 3-point shot, goes off the heads of a Heights player and into the hands of Jamino. Now Maddie Spears off the assist from Jamino, able to knock that one down. She'll head to the line for a 3-point opportunity. Great find there by Jamino. And in the first half, we kind of saw her, I don't want to say she was playing selfish basketball, but she wasn't quick to pass. She took a lot of shots underneath the basket, and that's exactly what she needed to do. That was, a time where Kapaun was looking to call her number, and she delivered. But here you see the more Heights puts pressure on her with the man defense, especially when she drives, you see a lot of help defense come in. The quicker she has become, or she has come to pass it. You saw her there drive the ball, did a great job of recognizing a player open on the block, and she just dumped it off, and looks like Spears able to get the nice, easy layup. But regardless, Heights now with it on offense. And Gant, 3-point shot, no good. Rebound goes to Romer. Romer finds McCoy Pfister. Now Pfister in the open court puts up a shot in transition. That is good and kicks the Kapaun lead back up to 15 now.
Good transition pass from KMC. They're just piling on the lead to Heights. They're making sure Heights has no chance of a comeback.
And now heading to their lead, it'll be Kapaun ball. And it looks like Chrisman will check back in favor of Gilbert. Now Fisher gets it to Jamino. Jamino pushes it down the sideline and then slows it down. Pressure drops off and allows for the offense to set itself up. Now Spears kicks it inside the arc to Wofford. Now Wofford kicks back out to Fisher. Fisher out to Romer. And tough defense here by the Falcons. And now stripped. That's Mayberry. And now Romer going to pick up a foul. And that will be Romer's second personal foul, team foul number 4. And now 45.7 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play.
Heights just looking to put some points on the board at this point. They haven't been able to really turn any of their possessions into anything. Just trying to make this one count.
Exactly right. And now Mayberry drives, kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson, nice little move. Tries to get back Jones, but great defense. And nice little dump off to Jackson. Eventually finds her. And some tough defense here by Kapaun. Nice find underneath. That's Chrisman, and she's able to convert the layup, and that'll be an and one opportunity as Spears was late getting there.
Great job on Heights being able to continue with their plan of attack, they never backed off, and they ended up making KMC pay, having the chance to make this a 3-point play.
And she's able to convert on that shot, and now Kapaun will have it with just under 15 seconds left to go. And let's see what Jamino can do with this final possession. Takes the screen. Now with just 5 seconds. In trouble. Looks like this is going to end up a jump ball. And it looks like some physicality there on the floor. And it looks like Wofford took a rough hit. Maybe caught an elbow there from Chrisman. And that one's got to hurt.
That looked like she hit the ground hard. If I were Heights, they were trying to get physical there, trying to get the ball, trying to make something with the final seconds. But the quarter's almost over. I wouldn't say that that aggression is needed with. They may not even get a chance to score there.
Yeah, I mean, possession arrow will be Kapaun. But I will say, I mean, as Wofford exits the quarter under her own power, and she looks like she's going to be okay. But she will head to the bench. You know, I guess the one bright side out of that jump ball, it looks like Heights will now start the fourth quarter with possession. The Kapaun will now have a 2-second opportunity to put up a shot. Let's see what they decide to do here. Romer gets it. She squares up, puts up a shot, and that is no good. Great play design there by Graff. However, it'll end up with nothing. And, you know, tremendous third quarter there from Kapaun, able to extend their lead from 6 points now to 12. And, Andrew, tell me a little bit about what you're seeing.
Yeah, KMC just continuing to attack on the offensive. Great passing. Great job of making opportunities for the star players. Jamino and Romer, even if they're not open and the shot isn't there, they're dishing the pass out to another playmaker and getting the points when it's needed.
Exactly right. And as we head into this final quarter, Kapaun really with an opportunity to make a statement win here. But that's not going to be possible if they don't keep things up on defense. They've done a great job, especially towards the end of that quarter, really locking up in the zone. But, you know, regardless, we'll have to see what they can do with this final quarter of play, as looks like we'll get back into the action now with the same lineup we ended the third quarter with. on both sides, that is. And as I mentioned earlier, Heights will start off with possession. And so if they want to make a comeback, it all starts here.
And Gabe, this game has two possible outcomes. It can either become a bloodbath and KMC ends up just destroying Heights not fighting back at all, or Heights can come back. They definitely have the weapons to, and they definitely have the opportunities to.
And that's a great way to start. Nice little layup there from Mayberry. Gives her 12 on the evening and cuts the Cape lead now to 10. Spears dumps off to McCoy Pfister. Now Pfister loses it. That's out of bounds. Great job there by Gant, disrupting the freshman. Now inbound goes to Jamino. Jamino finds a lane that closes up quickly. Now Jacobs has it top of the key. Jamino looks around, finds Pfister. And now inside that's Spears, but that goes high off the backboard and rebounded by Heights. So here we go as Heights able to convert on their last possession. They're going to have to keep that going. Let's see what Gant can do. Gant, three-point shot, good. Now Capen's lead cut to just 7 points. And so Capen not out of the woods yet. We'll see what they can do here with now a chance to, make a statement here in the fourth quarter. Have yet to score on offense. Of course, they've only had one possession, but still important to come out swinging.
And if Heights wants to mount a comeback, they are doing it right. Big three by Romer right there.
Big three by Romer, and that gives her 20 points on the evening. Leads both sides in scoring. Now Jackson drives the baseline, kicks it back out to Chrisman. And great steal there by Maddie Spears. Now Spears kicks over to Pfister. Pfister looks around and drives. Stripped by Mayberry. Mayberry behind the back. Nice little move. Gets it up the court now to Jackson. Jackson drives, spin move. Great defense there by Romer. Able to get the block, and that goes out of bounds. It will be Heights possession.
And even with the big lead, KMC is staying aggressive, forcing good blocks.
And foul going to be called. And that's going to be on Romer. That's her third personal foul and team foul number 6. So now, as we talked about in the first half, Capen really does not want to pick up that 7th team foul and send Heights into the bonus. And now Chrisman at the line. First shot good. Cuts it now to single digits. So Andrew, what are you seeing from Heights that's different now opposed to what they've done earlier in the game?
Well, Heights is going back to their aggressive defense. They're not letting Capen get anything easily. They're also, those free throw attempts, great job of scoring points right there, some easy points. Just converting those. Heights is just creating shot opportunities and getting their scores, attempts to score.
And now that's Spears with the basket inside. And so here we go. Mayberry brings it up with some pace now. Gets back out to Gant. And you see the Crusaders really playing a pretty tight zone, just trying to prevent any interior penetration. Because as we mentioned, as you see there, that's going to be Heights' main goal. They haven't had much success shooting from beyond the arc, or even from the mid-range for that matter. So I think in this final quarter, we're really going to see them start pounding the basket, trying to get to the hoop as much as possible, trying to draw those fouls.
Yeah, and Heights is also looking for that bonus, which KMC is one foul away. With that bonus, Heights can play a little bit more free in the paint and just trying to create opportunities down there.
Now Romer going to be intercepted. Now up the court to Jackson. Jackson drives, puts up a shot that's off the side of the backboard. But great second effort there, able to get her own rebound, put up another shot, and she will head to the line for one free throw and a three-point opportunity. And Maddie Spears picks up her 4th personal foul and also puts Heights into the bonus now. So Spears in some real foul trouble.
And if Heights makes... Oh.
No. She might regret that one later down the line.
I was about to say that they had an opportunity to cut this lead down, and maybe create some more opportunities after this, get the momentum going, and mount that comeback.
And now looks like Coach Graff will take Capen's second timeout. He'll have 3 remaining. But regardless, I feel like this is a good time for Graff to call a timeout. Really try and prevent Capen from sliding. Trying to prevent any of the lead from falling. And now, with it just being an 8-point lead, just a 3-possession game, it's going to be vital for Heights to not only convert on their offensive possessions, but they've got to stop Lizzie Romer and Sophia Jamino on the offensive end. Jamino with 16 points on the night, and Romer with 20 points. And Romer now with 4 3-point makes. She's just so versatile. 'Cause, I mean, she's not just from 3-point range, but she's done a great job of driving the basket, starting from the mid-range, just all over the court. She's been phenomenal. So it's going to be important for Heights to limit her production.
And Gabe, I think that Heights has done a much better job in the second half of limiting Romer and Jamino, but those 2 players still keep finding a way to make Heights pay. They're such offensive leaders and defensive that it's just hard to take them out of the game.
And now Romer finds Spears. Back to Jamino. And Cape and I think these extra passes are also great for them to chew up some clock. As you see, also finds it's a great way to get inside. And there you see Jacobs with the interior bucket. But I think for the most part, Capen going to try to swing it around the arc as much as possible, chew up that clock. 'Cause, I mean, right now, for them, it's just about not losing. I hate to say you hate to play to not lose, but right now, Capen has done great offensively. They've been playing great defense. And so whenever they have the ball, really just looking to chew up as much clock as possible.
Yeah, they're just trying to fend off any Heights attempts for a comeback. And, Gabe, Heights is just, they have 2 enemies here. They're playing against Capen and the clock, just trying to limit those possessions.
And a creative shot by Jamino is off the mark. And now Heights with the opportunity now to cut it to a 2-possession game. And that shot blocked by, by Romer and Jacobs. And now Jamino with a steal. And as we pass the 3-minute threshold, Capen looking to make this firmly a 3-possession game. And Jamino draws a foul. Looks like Mayberry will be called for that one. That will be Mayberry's 4th and team foul number 6. But Mayberry, a true centerpiece of this offense, as she has 12 points and leads the team in scoring. And it looks like Heights will take another timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining. And this gives Graff a chance to regroup with his girls as well. And, Andrew, if you're in that huddle, I know you've kind of mentioned this as we've gone on this 4th quarter, but if you're Coach Graff, what are you telling your girls?
Well, I'd be telling them right now to just calm down, relax, get the ball into your playmakers, make good passes, run that timeout, and like you said, try not to lose. Don't create any turnovers, and try not to foul Heights.
Exactly right. Just maybe play a little bit more conservatively. There's not as much of a need for that aggressive style of play we've seen from them. not that the aggressive style of play has not worked. I mean, that's the whole reason they're up in the first place. But regardless, looks like Kapaun once again takes the 4. They'll stick with the same lineup coming out of the timeout. And Heights sending out their starting lineup. And now Jamino will inbound. Now Pfister finds Spears. Now back to Jamino. And you see Kapaun playing way beyond the arc here, really just trying to expand their offense as much as possible, open up those passing lanes, and as mentioned earlier, I mean, just really trying to chew up that clock and play as conservative as possible, take real purpose with every pass and with every shot in particular. Now Romer has it, kicks it out to Spears. And Kapaun just playing hot potato. Now inside to Jamino, but she kicks it outside, and that's actually going to go off the foot of Mayberry and out of bounds. And Heights really needing to get a turnover here and spark something on offense.
Yeah, with these passes and expanding the court, KMC is just trying to not create any silly passes to give the ball to Heights.
And now Pfister looks around, finds Jamino, and Jamino inside to Jacobs. And even on these inside passes, you know, you expect them to shoot. They're just kicking it back out, trying to take up as much time as possible with every possession as we pass the 2-minute threshold. And foul here.
And you knew that was coming soon.
I mean, Kapaun doing a great job of just passing the ball around, and eventually, with as much time as they were running off the clock, you have to foul and you have to stop the clock. However, that will be Gilbert's 5th personal foul, and she will retire for the evening. And now we see Jamino head to the line for 1-1, as that was team foul number 7 for Heights, and Jamino able to convert on her first shot and looking to make a double-digit lead with her second attempt here.
And I think, Gabe, putting KMC's lead up by 10 will potentially put this game out of the potential comeback.
Reach.
Yeah, out of reach for a potential comeback. I think it's very hard for Heights to do anything here with just under 1:40 left.
Yeah, exactly right, but doesn't look like they're giving up anytime soon as Mayberry puts up a 3-point shot. That's no good. Great rebound there by Spears, but it looks like ref's going to call a jump ball. And it looks like possession arrow favors Heights here, so they'll have it under their own basket. And Coy Pfister with a great shot, or excuse me, a great steal there, or potential swat. I guess I don't know exactly what to call that, but great defensive effort there by the freshman regardless.
Yeah, they're just not letting Heights get anything. They're making everything difficult, and that was a deep 3.
A deep 3, but looks like that's going to be no good. But however, Chrisman able to get the rebound and put it back up for 2 points. And foul going to be called now with 1:14 left to go. And it looks like that will send Maddie Spears to the line. Spears with 5 points on the evening. Definitely not too shabby of a performance for her. And with the potential to make it 7 points with this trip to the charity stripe. And Jackson falls and loses it, and now it looks like Chrisman grabs the ankle of Romer to try and foul her, and it looks like the ref going to blow his whistle, and so that will send Romer to the line for 1-1. That'll be Chrisman's second personal foul. Team foul number 9. And Romer able to hit her first, so she will see one more.
Gabe, I just don't think anything's going to happen. Up by 10, Heights. This is pretty out of reach. KMC feeling pretty comfortable about their lead thus far. Just playing comfortably.
And Mayberry with a nice little runner, however. I mean, I still love to see this from Heights. You know, even though, as you mentioned, probably out of reach at this point, but regardless, they're playing with their whole heart and doing a great job trying to stay in it. And now Jamina will be fouled, and she will head to the line for now a double bonus opportunity. So she will have 2 shots regardless, as that was team foul number 10. And first shot good. And Jamino's second attempt, no good. Rebounded by Chrisman. Out the court to Mayberry. Mayberry. Deep 3-point shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Pfister and instantly fouled. So Pfister will head to the line for 2 shots.
And KMC has proved that they are consistent at the free throw line, hitting most of their shots tonight. And just, except for that one.
But you are exactly right. I mean, their success definitely started at the free throw line.
And I feel like that's continued all season. When KMC hits their free throws, they tend to succeed in the game. They cause a lot of fouls, as Heights has 10 in the second half, and another one.
And so now Jamino will head to the line for 2 shots.
Heights is really just trying to stop the bleeding at this point. I don't know if there's any hope of a comeback, but they're just making it difficult for this game to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it is a 3-possession game. And, you know, with Kapaun missing the last 5 free throws, it is a possibility. But, you know, with a make here from Jamino, it's out of reach. And with also with Mayberry just now fouling out, really out of reach for Heights. And as Jamino scores her 20th point, she also makes it a now 4-possession game. And Heights using up way too much time on this possession. And that about seals it. As now Romer will head to the line.
And Gabe, we've mentioned it time and time again, but the sheer amount of points that Romer and Jamino have combined to score, it's just amazing. It's what you like. It's what you love to see out of your 2-star players, combined for 42 points tonight. That is just great basketball.
Exactly right. Now Romer with 23 and now 24. She puts the Crusaders up by 12. And now up the court to Brown. Brown with a little runner, no good. And Romer loses it. Gant able to convert. And that will end the game, as the final score is going to be 60-50, as Kapaun able to come away with the win. And just a successful night for the girls. And tune in about 15 to 20 minutes for the boys taking on the Heights Falcons as well. A very exciting matchup. And with that, I have been Gabriel Breidenbach.
And I'm Andrew Guyer. And that's the game.
KMC administration, head coach Steve Mack, his assistant coaches, and all the student athletes. We want to thank those in attendance. We appreciate your support of high school athletics. A special salute goes out to alumni, KMC, and fans of both schools. This evening's game is sanctioned by the Kansas State High School Athletics Association. The coach will feature Rule 52, encourage your enthusiastic support and encouragement for the student athletes of both teams. I remind everyone of the rules of the sportsmanship toward the athletes, cheerleaders, coaches, officials, and with one another. We thank you for your cooperation. At this time, we request that you please stand and remove your hats as we together give reverence and honor to God and country with our opening prayer and national anthem. To lead us in our prayer, let me introduce Cape Chaplain, Father Curtis Hecker.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Almighty God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we thank you for the gift of this day. We thank you for the gift of each of these young men that you brought here to compete tonight. We ask you to bless them, to keep them safe from injury and harm, to allow them to play with the true spirit of sportsmanship. And let what they do tonight be for your honor and glory as they return their gifts and talents back to you. We ask all of this as we pray in the words that you yourself have taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, pray for us. Father Kapaun, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
It is now time to introduce tonight's starting lineups. First up, for the visitors, Wichita Heights, Coach Joe Howard. Your first introduction is 6-foot senior guard, number 5, Marcus Siegler. And please welcome before a 6'6" senior post player, number 0. The jump 6-foot senior guard, number 11, Jordan Alford. And for the Crusaders, 6'2" senior guard, number 3, Dominic Shipley. As for the Heights Falcons, 6'7", sophomore forward, number 21, Malachi Whitney. And for the Crusaders, the 6'4" junior guard, number 4, Will Thankball.
Hello and welcome to Cape Mount Carmel Catholic High School, home of your Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders, who tonight come into the matchup 8-0, and will be facing off against the 7-1 Heights Falcons. And Sophia, this is going to be truly a very exciting matchup. Of course, Kapaun comes into this game here tonight ranked number 2 in the 5A West Division, and Heights comes into this matchup ranked number 2 in the 6A West Division. And of course, Heights this season, the reigning state champions of the 6A level. And so, Sophia, when you're coming into these big games, if you're Cape Mount Carmel, this is obviously, a monumental point in your season. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I've been ecstatic too for this game, Gabe, and the Crusaders, they're ready to go. They know Heights is a good team. They know that they're reigning 6A champs. And last year, obviously we didn't broadcast this, but at Heights, Kapaun and Heights had a very close game. Kapaun did end up on top, but down to the last second. So be expecting something like that. Very competitive game. Both teams gonna play aggressive, quick, and both teams got a lot of talent. So the Crusaders, it's their home court. They got all the fans backing them up. And I think, if they stick to their defense, their solid defense, that'll definitely be helpful. And there it goes. Looks like a 5-second call, I believe.
Or maybe a carry.
Yeah, it might have been a carry. Either one. Kapaun's ball.
It'll be Kapaun Mount Carmel ball. And, speaking of that Townsville, we'll get right into the starting lineups as Kapaun has their first offensive possession. That's Tegan Charles you see with the ball right now. He kicks it over to Dominic Shibley. He has, looks like Corbin Johnson, number 21 on your screen. Now inside, that's Will Ancio, number 0. And now back inside the Will Ancio as Dominic Shibley kicks a 3. That's no good. One person I failed to mention is number 4 on your screen, William Thingvall.
And now for Heights starting lineup, number 5, Marcus Ziegler, number 11, Jordan Alford, number 21, Wilkins, number 23, TJ Williams, and number 44, Oken.
And it looks like whistle blown. And it looks like Ziegler stepped out of bounds there, trying to go along the baseline. And it'll be Cape Mount Carmel ball. And Sophia, both teams have had now to be second possession for Cape Mount Carmel. No points yet. Isn't that a little bit surprising to you?
Yeah, especially for the Crusaders. We see them a lot, start off really strong with a nice point, and let's see if they get it to go there, and that won't go. So, yeah, both teams still scoreless.
And on the other end of it, it's Ziegler, kicks it over to TJ Williams. And, of course, TJ Williams, a 4-star recruit as just a junior. Sophia, we already talked about what it's like to come in against a good team. But, when you're going up against a player in particular who is going to be a good threat, obviously a 4-star recruit isn't something you come across every day, especially in a town like Wichita, Kansas. But, as Heights takes their first time out here, Sophia, what's it like going up against a player like that?
I think, obviously there's more attention towards Williams. He's a threat. Kapaun knows he's a threat. And they got to stay solid. They have to be aware of him at all times on the court. On the defensive end, everybody has to know where he's at. But honestly, if they continue to stay solid, Williams isn't the only guy on the court. Really, the most important thing is to guard the guy with the ball, stop the guy with the ball. But, yeah, definitely something important. And as you see, Charles is on him. And so both guys, they're pretty evenly matched up, both lanky and quick.
Exactly right, as now Williams has it going against Thingvall. Drives. Nice move by Williams, but that's going to fall short. And looks like a jump ball going to be the result of the rebound. And looks like Kapaun's going to get a possession error on this one. But, that's perfectly put, Sophia. Obviously Williams is a great offensive and defensive talent for that matter. But there's no one more dangerous on a basketball court than whoever has the ball in their hands. And so now we see Kapaun on offense. Still no points scored by either team. And another turnover here by Kapaun as Ziegler rushes up the court, tries to score in transition, and does. That gives Heights their first basket of the game. And now we see Johnson bring it up for KMC. Gets it over to Charles. And, you kind of noticed it there on that last drive. but as Charles misses and Ziegler comes up with the rebound, Heights really trying to push the pace in this game. And we see this a lot of times, the opponent trying to push Kapaun to, maybe have a faster pace. But Kapaun really is trying to keep things slow and methodical. Is that something you think they're going to change in this game, or what do you see happening here tonight?
Yeah, I think they're going to do whatever, obviously opposite of what Heights wants him to do. So if Heights is trying to rush him, they are going to slow down. If Heights is slowing down, they're going to run the ball. It's just, kind of playing off of what the other team is doing, and the Crusaders want to be in control.
And it looks like Dominic Shibley going to head off the court after picking up his first personal foul. And it looks like Maxwell Keller comes into the game.
And quick correction on my end. Earlier I mentioned Charles was guarding Williams, but it's actually Thangval who will be guarding him.
And now Johnson brings the ball the other way for KMC. He drives. Maxwell Keller takes a go at it. Charles in some open space, able to knock down the jumper. He's now 1 of 2 and ties it all up at 2 as Heights heads the other way with it.
And we're only 3.5 minutes in game, but as you mentioned, low scoring game, only 2-2. We're used to seeing Kapaun get out pretty fast, but Heights is doing a good job of trying to stop that full court game.
And I think that's going to be the biggest key here tonight for Heights, is limiting Kapaun's offensive production. They're obviously not going to be able to limit it or completely control it. I mean, Kapaun has a lot of offensive weapons. But speaking of offensive weapons, that's a great shot there by Alford, as he's able to knock that one down from three-point range. But as I was saying, they have a lot of offensive weapons. You're not going to be able to completely control Kapaun's scoring, as Antio with a nice little move on the block to get that basket. But limiting it as much as possible and playing good defense. As Ziegler tries his luck from 3, that's no good. And shots like that just aren't going to cut it because, you can try to outscore Kapaun Mount Carmel. Heights definitely has the talent to do so. But it's going to be a lot easier if you focus on more on the defensive side of things. As Antio gets another shot to fall and gives Kapaun their first lead of the evening.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that, Gabe. And then Heights on their offense, Kapaun is very good at rebounding. So with shots like that we saw the last possession, it's going to be important for Heights to get their own offensive rebounds and make good shot selections, or else Kapaun is going to get the ball and then go score on the other end.
Looks like some substitutions now for Heights, as Holt and what looks like Robinson check in for Heights, as Williams misses a shot. That's rebounded by Charles. And now Johnson kicks it over to Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall looks around, finds Charles in the corner. And defensively, Heights is doing a great job of pushing the Crusaders outside, as Johnson settles for a tough three-point shot and now heading the other way. But on defense, Heights is doing a great job of pushing Kapaun out, not allowing any interior penetration. Of course, Antio already has 2 baskets, and so it's going to be really vital for Heights to stick to that zone and really force Kapaun to make their own shots around the perimeter. And now Wilkins with a nice move, able to get his own rebound and is good on his second attempt there. And that pushes the Falcons back in front. Now Will Thingvall tries his welcome 3. That is long and past the rim. Now heading the other way, it's the Falcons, as Wilkins thinks about his shot from 3, and instead looks like foul going to be called on the floor. And it looks like it'll be Will Thingvall's first, or excuse me, Will Antio's first personal foul, team foul number 2.
And now Oken checking back in for Heights, and Dalian coming in for the Crusaders.
And inbound goes to Wilkins. Now Holt tries to find somebody, finds Ziegler. And Sophia, offensively, what do you think is going to be the key for Heights here tonight?
I think moving the ball quickly, trying to get into the paint, right there with with Williams. And, yeah, any time a team can get into the paint, that's when they're going to be set up for success.
And great job there by Will Thangbo to score in transition. And now Heights down by 1. See what they can do to respond. And this has really been a back and forth here, Sophia. And so, when you're in it as a player, you're in these, almost, deadlock situations. What's going through your mind?
The main thing is just trying to take it one play at a time. So right now, Kapaun's thinking we got to get a stop. Then if we get a stop, then we can, go down and score. You got to think stop, then extend the lead. I mean, obviously they're only up by 1, but slowly build on it like that. And on the other hand, Heights is thinking, we are down by 1, and they got to get a good basket like that one right there.
And that's a beautiful pass there by Williams. Quick reaction, and just a beautiful feed there inside the Okran. And now Kapaun with 35, or less now than 35 to go. Let's see what they can do. Potentially their final possession of the quarter. And now Johnson intercepted. Ball is loose and foul going to be called.
And what I'm seeing so far, Gabe, is both teams very similar on the defensive end. We see Kapaun, a lot of times in all of their games, get those good steals, kind of read the pass, be in help side, and Heights is doing the exact same thing to them. So it's pretty evenly matched.
Now it looks like Dominic Shibley makes his return, and Brooks Powers checks in for the first time here tonight. And now Ziegler looks like he's holding it for the last shot here. And no good by Ziegler, and rebound by Brooks Powers. Now Maxwell Keller, full court shot, no good off the front iron. And so we head into the first quarter break with Kapaun down by 1, and just phenomenal first half, or first quarter I should say, from both teams. Sophia, give me your players' analysis.
I think so. It's kind of a slower game than we're used to, especially with the Crusaders, and it's because, like I mentioned, both defenses are doing a solid job. They're staying in that help side. They're not allowing the paint, and for Kapaun, they have the most success when they can get it inside, and either Ancio is looking to score or Charles, or then they kick it out and get a nice open 3. But Heights really isn't allowing that. They're making Kapaun really set up their offense and kind of reverse it on the perimeter more. And then Heights, they're doing a great job against Kapaun's defense. They are able to get, as we saw in that last play from them, with Oken with that score, Williams finding Oken, moving the ball quickly, trying to get it, inside or at the elbow or something like that, and then getting it down low. So both teams playing very aggressive defense, and it's just going to be hard on the offensive end.
Exactly. I mean, this is going to be a defensive slugfest, and I'm very excited. I mean, I'm always quick to say that defense makes for the best offense, and turns defense leads to offense, I should say. And so I'm really excited. I feel like eventually here, Sophia, we're going to see one team really step it up here defensively. I mean, both teams, as you said, playing great defense, but really step it up here defensively and go on a nice run. And Wilkins with the corner 3, really starting this quarter with a statement. But Sophia, I mean, this could potentially be the start of a Heights run, but I really do think that's where this game is heading. As Keller drives, puts up a shot. That's an awkward shot and no good, out of bounds, off the hands of what looks like Powers. And so it'll be Heights ball. As
you were mentioning with those, solid defense, stepping it up, both teams capable of, getting down the floor quickly. And I think that's what we're going to see from Heights. They're up now by 4. Obviously on the offensive end, they're going to kind of slow things down, keep things going. But if they have that opportunity on the defensive end, they're going to go.
Exactly right. Now Wilkins drives, kicks it back out. That's Holt. Holt for 3. Back-to-back threes for Heights, and now Kapaun down by 7 in a blink of an eye. And it looks like Eck going to use his first timeout of the game. And Sophia, I mean, great start here for Heights. I mean, you kind of talked about earlier how you expected Kapaun to come out and start driving the basket a little bit more, try their very best to, drive out and then kick out. That's almost what we're seeing from Heights.
Yeah, exactly. And, Heights is doing a good job of knocking down those shots. There's teams who will do that, but they can't shoot for anything. But Heights is showing that they are capable of shooting those threes and making them. So that's an adjustment I'm sure Coach Eck is having his team make coming out of this timeout.
And we'll get right back into the action. As Johnson gets it to Keller. Now back to Johnson. And Sophia, Kapaun does have those perimeter threats. Primarily Corbin Johnson and William Thingvall. And foul going to be called here. Looks like Will Thingvall going to pick up his first personal. And that's team foul number 4 for Kapaun, and Heiss still yet to pick up a single foul here. So, Sophia, that's definitely something Kapaun's going to have to keep a watch out for.
Yeah, they don't want to be sending Heiss to the line. And they got to recognize, these refs are going to call some of those, reaching fouls if you're going for the ball or something like that. And so Kapaun needs to recognize if they, Heiss is going to get the ball, they just kind of got to back off and limit those fouls.
And now Ziegler drives, no good. He gets his own rebound and loses it. And referee says it's Heights' ball. Must have hit a Kapaun player before going out of bounds. Now Williams drives, kicks it out, and Holt unable to knock that one down. Now Johnson coming down with it. Now gets it to Shibley. Now Shibley trapped, tries to get to Ancio. However, can't, but that will end up out of bounds as Ancio makes the right play there, hitting it off of the foot of a Heights player.
And Heights doing a great job of getting that trap in the corner. They got some big size, and they're using that to their advantage.
Great job there by Corbin Johnson. As soon as the ball hit his hands, just dumped it off to Will Thingvall under the hoop and able to convert there for 2 points. And now let's see what Heights can do. Ziegler jump stops, kicks it back out to Wilkins. Wilkins in trouble. Cross-court pass, finds Alford. Now Alford drives. That is good. And here comes Johnson.
Ancio blocked by Wilkins there.
And now at the other end, unable to convert there. And wow, just back and forth. Let's see what Ancio can do. On the block, kicks back out to Johnson. Johnson from a deep three-point range, unable to convert. And wow, just out of reach for Will Thingvall on the rebound. Ends up in the hands of Ziegler. Now Ziegler pushing the pace. Now slowing things down. Ziegler tries to find a lane to the basket, but good defense there, pushing the ball back outside. Now Alford kicks it back out to Holt, excuse me. What are you going to say?
Yeah, it looks like Heights is kind of running a bunched up offense, trying to set some screens, trying to get things going up top here. And very interesting.
Great defense over there by Powers, but that leaves Alford open, and he makes them pay for it. Man, Heights going on a pretty serious run here. And now Kapaun looking to respond on offense. Ancio unable to get that one to go. Nice little bat outside by Powers. And Sophia, Powers is just such a creative player. You see a lot of those plays where, you wouldn't really expect a bat outside there, but he does that, and he does a great job of getting it to the outside for an open shot. But regardless, it looks like on the other end, Powers is going to pick up his first personal foul. That'd be team foul number 5. And Sophia Williams at the line now with an opportunity to go up double digits what are you thinking if you're KMC?
I mean, they really haven't obviously been in this position yet this year. We've seen it, and it looks like a timeout is being called. But it's tough when you're not in these situations. It's still early in the season, though, still first half of the season. So good to kind of get acclimated to something like this. But they're going to have to figure out a way to stop the drive like Alfred has gone down, past few possessions, shooting just little floaters. And the Crusaders are going to have to find a way to, stop little things like that, stop the three ball. It's really hard because Heights is very aggressive on the offensive end, and all of their players are threats. So they just slowly, like I mentioned in the beginning of the game, have to take one possession at a time, get a stop on defense, then try to go down and get something on the offensive end.
Yeah, and Alfred, Sophia, I mean, not really someone on this team you would have expected to lead in scoring, but he is. 7 points in the first half here. And Williams yet to score here. So see if he can get his first point with this shot. And that one is up and no good. Wow. But Sophia, another thing is, you look at the foul differential. 5 fouls for Kapaun and 0 for Heights. And I'm not blaming the referee at all. But what I'm saying is Heights playing really solid, just fundamentally great defense. And, maybe Kapaun being a little bit more sloppy, picking up those fouls. Definitely something to watch out for as we head into the final stages of this first half. And it looks like we failed to mention Sejavius Bowen has checked in for Heights, number 15 on your screen. Great little dump off there by Will Ancio. And Sophia, obviously Kapaun's going to have to get things going on offense, but defensively is really where we're going to have to step it up and limit the offensive scoring from Heights.
Exactly. Heights on this run, they got a lot of momentum on the offensive end. Kapaun's going to have to do something to stop that.
Now Ziegler, nice little crossover, pulls up from the mid-range. That is good. Was a little bit too quick to judge that one there as it was able to roll in off the front iron.
Yeah, shooters roll.
And now Johnson in the corner, tries to find Ancio inside but can't as that closes up and dumps off to Charles instead. Now Will Thingvall working on the wing. Really just a great job here by Heights. As you mentioned earlier, they're playing a pretty loose man and doing a great job with the help defense. As now Keller takes a tough shot. That's no good.
Yeah, and then, also blocking out, getting those rebounds as Williams did right there has been really helpful for Heights.
And Ziegler slowing it down a bit here. And Sophia, when you're up by 9, that's really a chance for you to take things slow, really try to play methodically and with purpose in every single drive and possession.
Yeah, there's no rush at all with that, that cushion, that lead. They want to get the best shot possible, and the way to do that is just run the offense, keep moving the ball, try to get the defense thrown off.
And now that ends up out of bounds off the hands of Williams. And Williams really struggling here, Sophia, in this first half. 0 points and now another turnover for him. Not really what you expected here tonight from Williams.
Yeah, and, like you mentioned with Alfred, he's now out of the game. But when Kapaun, you got to assume Williams being the star player of Heights' team, from Heights' perspective, they're assuming Kapaun is going to focus on him a lot. So that's when other players have the opportunity to step up.
Let's see what the referees say. As it's going to, the basket will count. There will also be a foul. So a nice little friendly call there from the ref. Gives Will Thingvall the goaltending call, and it will send him to the line for additional free throw.
Don't see that too often in goaltending and a foul called. But
and Thingvall able to convert. That cuts the lead now only to 6 points, and so well within reach for Kapaun. But as we said earlier, progress is going to be made on the defensive end of the ball, and so we'll see what Heights can do here with this possession. Nice inside feed to Ziegler. And, man, the passing vision of the Heights players here tonight has been phenomenal. Really, every single passing lane that's available to them, they've been able to see it. Now, a nice little inside feed isn't going to amount to much as he couldn't cleanly field it.
And it just shows the trust they have in each other and the chemistry they've built this year, being able to find each other for shots like that.
And foul going to be called. Looks like that's going to be on Charles. Looks like an over-the-back call. And that gives Charles his second personal foul. And Sophia, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you're one of your star big men now with early foul trouble as you see Eck taking him out of the game.
Yeah, it's tough. Right now there's not too many, huge guys in for Heights, but still it's good having another presence other than just Ancio down low for the Crusaders. So the guards are going to have to step it up.
So now we'll think about with the lane to the hoop. Pulls up and now kicks it back out to Johnson. Now Thingball inside to Ancio. Ancio back to Thingball. Back out to Keller. Keller, that's no good. And, man, Kapaun really struggling from the three-point range, yet to make a single three-point field goal. And Sophia, I mean, Kapaun has somewhat relied on the three-point shot here this season, and they've been successful with it. And it's rare that you don't make one at all, like in the first half.
Yeah.
But at what point do you, as a coach, do you kind of step in and you say, hey, we got to stop taking those shots?
There is a point, but the thing is, from my perspective, you can keep taking those shots if you're going to guarantee getting the rebound. Obviously, you can't guarantee every time, but those shooters have to be confident. If I'm not going to make this, a lot of them are cold right now. Someone's going to have my back. Someone's going to get the rebound, so we can have a second chance.
And it looks like with now 1.5 seconds on the clock, a goaltending call will give Kapaun the basket. And, the Kapaun fans happy with that call. Heights fans are not happy with that call. Sophia, what did you see?
I think it was goaltending for sure. It is Heights ball now, but, yeah, I think that was the right call.
Now, last second shot from Wilkins. That's no good. So, halftime score, Kapaun 17, Heights 21. So, they will head into that locker room down by 4, and Eck will get a chance to regroup with his guys. And, Sophia, I'm very excited to see what happens in the second half. But until then, give us about 10 minutes for the halftime performance of the KMC Pommies, and we'll be back with another half of action. Hello and welcome back to the second half of action between Cape Mount Carmel and Wichita Heights. My name is Gabriel Bryanbach, and with
Sophia Jamino.
we will be bringing you the second half of action here. As Capen enters this half down by 4, they, however, will start out with the ball so we can see what they can do with this opportunity. And Capen just kind of swinging the ball around, trying to get into their groove on offense. As now Charles drives and whistle blown.
And Capen needs to recognize these refs are willing to call those contact fouls, either when you're driving or shooting, any of those little fouls. So if they recognize that and try to get into the paint, try to look for those fouls, that'll be very helpful to them.
Exactly right, and these 2 free throws will be pivotal in Capen's comeback here. And that's not the first one he wanted to shoot there. Let's see what Charles can do with the second shot. And now second one up and no good as well. Rebound, however, goes to still fighting for it. Looks like Alford able to pull that one away. Now inside to Wilkins. And nice job there by the sophomore. Corbin Johnson able to draw the foul there. And wow, really quick thinking there to draw the charge. That gives Wilkins his second personal foul and team foul number 2 for Heights.
And yeah, back to Johnson. I mean, he's been doing that all this season, taking those charges, making those plays that are really crucial and helps his team out.
Now heading it away with it, that's Wilkins. And Sophia, honing in on Wilkins here, I mean, he's a great build with also some guard capabilities, which is not something you see in someone who's 6'8" usually, but he does a great job with his ball handling and is pretty athletic to go along with that. Now, foul going to be called on Tegan Charles, his third personal and first team foul, but still something to look in on as Charles picks up his third personal foul. And first one made there by Williams. That's his first point of the evening as we start the second half of play. No, excuse me, his third point. He had a basket there to end the second quarter, my apologies. But still, not exactly the production you expected from a player of his caliber.
Yeah, not at all. And it's hard, Heights still up, but it's hard when you sometimes rely on a player like Williams to help your team out, and then he's not giving much other than the 3 points.
Oh, an impressive block there by Keller. And now foul going to be drawn, and that gives Ziegler his second personal. And that's team foul number 3.
And we mentioned earlier in the first half how Capen needed to be careful watching their fouls, but Heights already with 3 and only a minute 18 into the second half.
Exactly right, Sophia. Now Johnson gets it to Keller. Keller thinks about pulling up, but then thinks better. Instead drives, gets it inside to Dominic Shibley. Dominic Shibley back outside to Keller. Keller once again thinks, but instead drives, and now a foul going to be called. And Wilkins not happy about that, and Sophia, I can't blame him. That was a physical play on the ball for sure, but I'm not sure it was worthy of a whistle. Not to discredit the ref or anything, but just my own personal take. Nice find in the corner for Maxwell Keller. Off the side of the backboard, however, and that will be no good. However, it's still Capen ball. Now Johnson with it. Awkward shot, unable to knock it down, in and out.
And Williams with the rebound, but looks like a foul is going to be called on Dominic Shibley.
His second personal and second team foul as well.
And real quick, I know usually Mr. Phil Glasser is here watching the games, but I heard he is at home tonight. So just a quick shout out to you, one of our biggest fans. We hope you're enjoying the game. And to everyone out there, thank you for tuning in. It's been a good game, and we hope you guys continue to watch.
And Ziegler able to knock that one down. sends the Heights lead back to 7. And so, Sophia, if Kapaun wants to get back in this game, they've got to get something going on offense. They've been doing good to start at the half, but they just every single possession is going to be so crucial here as we enter this stretch. And opportunities like that, they're going to have to convert on.
Yeah, I mean, great move by Max Keller. Just needs to finish that.
And now Ziegler. Gets to Okron. Okron inside to Williams. No, intercepted. Great job there by Thingvall. Thingvall coast to coast. Blocked from behind by Okron. Wow. Now full court pass. Foul and 1.
And Shibley not too happy about that.
That gives Shibley his 3rd personal. 3rd team foul as well for Kapaun. And now Kapaun takes another timeout here.
So, Gabe, Kapaun coming into this 3rd quarter only down by 4, and now Heights with a 9-point lead. What do you think Coach Eck is, trying to get his guys to accomplish here once they get out of this timeout?
I think the biggest thing is I know I keep re-emphasizing it, but Kapaun's going to have to limit the production, especially from Ziegler and Alfred and Wilkins. But more than anything, they've got to capitalize on the offensive end of the ball. They can't afford to miss those layups and inside looks. And it's just going to be vital for Kapaun to get some offensive production going.
Yeah, I agree. And, usually we see a lot from Ancio, and he has 8 points, which is pretty solid at this point in the game. But you got to give credits to Heights. They are doing a great job of, trying to keep the ball from getting in there. And if it does, playing solid defense and then getting those rebounds.
And the other thing is Kapaun with only 2 timeouts remaining. And so it's going to be hard for them to, be willing to use one of those before the 4th quarter break, I would assume. So really going to have to ride out the rest of this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be thinking, with this close of a game, both teams very competitive, you got to have some timeouts in your back pocket towards the end of the game.
Now Williams shot good. As now the Heights lead bumped up to 10. Now inside to Ancio. Ancio going to be fouled on his way up. But Sophia, another thing is Kapaun's trying to drive the ball, and eventually they're going to get some calls like this one. That being said, that's another thing they've got to capitalize on if it's going to be worth anything.
Yeah, I mean, Heights now with 5 fouls in this 3rd quarter. If Kapaun can draw those, 2 more fouls, they're in the bonus. And then they got to knock down their free throws. Been a little bit of a problem for them early in their season, but if they can capitalize and make these free throws, that'll be huge.
First one's good from Ancio. Now Ancio's 2nd attempt up, and no good. As it bounces out. And Sophia, what are you thinking right now with Kapaun being down by 9?
Yeah, they're going to have to get a stop right here on the defensive end. Looks like a foul called.
Maybe on Maxwell Keller.
Not the type of stop they're looking for. However, yeah, they just got to play solid. They can't have those itty-bitty fouls there that are going to cause them some problems. Solid defense, stay in the help, and, yeah, get a stop.
Now Williams with it out of bounds. It will remain with Heights. The referee says that was off of Brooks Powers. And we'll see what Heights can do with it. And whistle blown. It'll be foul on, well, looks like that's going to be on Corbin Johnson.
So
That'll
now
be team foul number 5 for Kapaun.
both teams needing to be careful with their fouls.
Now another foul, this time going to be on Brooks Powers. Now Kapaun 6 team fouls. That's Powers' second. And there's Keller with the rebound. Gets it over to Thingvall. Thingvall for 3. And Ziegler with another rebound. I mean, Ziegler doing a great job. I mean, as a guard, you don't expect him to be getting down and dirty in the paint. But he is, and he's doing a great job getting those rebounds. And now Williams with another basket puts Heights up 11.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a little bit more from Williams this half, doing a great job of converting when he has the chance.
And now Will Thingvall on third attempt cannot get that to go.
And, you know, last 2 possessions, Kapaun just throwing up some threes. I think there's not a 11-point shot. And so what they got to do is they're just going to have to run the offense. There's still plenty of time in the game. They're in no rush. So there's no point, you know, rushing any of those shots. I'm just chucking up threes.
And now Okron, nice feed inside to Okron by Holt. And Heights really pulling away here. And so, Sophia, what are your thoughts? I know I keep asking you that, but, I mean, Kapaun starting to slip here and, you know, Heights inching ever away.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Heights. They're doing a great job on the defensive end. They're forcing Kapaun to take, you know, not the greatest shots. They're doing a great job limiting Kapaun's ability to get into the paint and then getting those rebounds. And then from there, they're running the court really well, getting Kapaun's transitions defense kind of lost. And then if they're setting up an offense, Heights does a great job of converting and being able to get those points, or to get the ball in the bucket.
And now coming out of this timeout, we'll see what Kapaun can do.
And the crowd going wild as a Heights cheerleader doing some acrobatics over here. Quite entertaining to watch.
Quite entertaining. But that being said, Kapaun now with only a single timeout remaining in this game. So that's another thing they're going to have to keep in mind is X not going to have the ability to, you know, attribute any more timeouts to their. He's not going to be able to call any more timeouts. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, if Kapaun, they got to get things going here, kind of got to decrease Heights' lead. But at the end of the game, let's say scenario, they do, you know, cut it closer and it gets to a tight game. These guys on the floor for Kapaun got to know what they're doing at the end of a game.
And ref going to blow his whistle here. As it'll be on the floor. However, it will be the 6th team foul for Heights. So a little bit of good news for Kapaun. Just one more and they'll be in the bonus. However, flip side of that, they also have 16 fouls. Kapaun does. And so one more foul committed by them, they will send, obviously, Heights into the bonus. But anyway, Johnson to inbound. And now into Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall and one. Definitely something that was needed to spark Kapaun's offensive life back into him. And right here, Will Thingvall with an opportunity to bring it within 10.
Yeah, Thingvall, they're doing a great job, you know, kind of waiting a second, a little pump fake there, and then getting the and one and his free throw to go.
And so now we see Williams bring it up. He started to come alive in the second half. Only 2 points in the first. Now has 4 in only the third quarter. So see what he can do. And now Ziegler. And Kapaun pushing out pretty wide. I mean, there was a wide open opportunity there underneath the basket. And now Johnson able to come up with the ball.
And props to Brooks Powers there for getting the block.
Now inside to Dalian. Nice move. Unable to get the basket, but then Will Thangball with a nice little tip in to get that one to go.
And Thangball notorious for his little tip-ins. Now with 12 points. And Kapaun now trying to make a run.
And they need to make a run here, as now on defense they're going to need a stop. As whenever you get a little sliver of momentum in basketball, you're going to have to feed it. And now timeout going to be called by Heights, and Heights has plenty of timeouts to play with here, as that's only their second take, and they'll have 3 remaining. But Sophia Heights noticing, as I said, I mean, this momentum starting to swing Kapaun's way. If you're Heights, you want to stop that then in its tracks. But if you're Kapaun, you've got to feed that. You've got to get those defensive stops and get back on the offensive end of the court and try to make as big of a run as possible, because they're definitely in need of some offensive production.
Exactly right. And Heights still with the cards in their hand, and they're doing a great job. Obviously letting a few things slip there as Kapaun scored, but they're still playing solid, and still they're up by 8. They still have control, and I think that's why taking a timeout kind of resets their focus, make sure they're doing what they're doing. And Heights has done a great job this half, just moving the ball super well, finding the open guy. So I think that's what they're going to try to continue to look to do on the offensive end.
And it all starts here as Ziegler pushes the pace. Wu's ball ends up in the hands of what looks to be Robinson. Now Williams with it, guarded by Thangball. Okron now. Now, Heights playing a little bit slower. And now Williams unable to convert on the putback. And Sophia, I will say, I thought that was he was gonna make Kapaun pay for their poor rebounding there, but able to gather themselves here. Kapaun now with the ball, and
some of the Heights fans looking for a travel there.
Kapaun doing a great job moving the ball around, and now blocked. Heading their way with it, that's Williams. And now Corbin Johnson called for a block. And Johnson confused, as he thought that would be a charge. And it looks like the ref was not happy with a little bit of a flop there. But regardless, that gives Heights 2 points. And now Robinson at the line with a 3-point opportunity. And also with the 17 foul sends Heights into the bonus.
And Heights only 40% from the line tonight. Let's see what they can do.
And Robinson unable to hit that one. And Ancio with the rebound. Now gets it to Shibley. Shibley inside to Ancio. Ancio drives back out to Shibley. And no foul going to be called here, and it's going to be Heights possession. So now with 28.4 remaining, Heights with an opportunity to have one more solid possession for the end of the quarter. And referee stops play. It looks like the referee's going to discuss here. I think they were a little confused on what happened there.
I mean, I'm as confused as they are.
Confused at what they're discussing, though. Because it's either there was a foul on Ancio or the ball went out of bounds off the hands of Shibley. So it looks like the referee at the opposite end of the court is arguing for the foul.
Something must have happened, though, because it looked like Ziegler was frustrated about something. Kind of saw him slam the ball a little bit there, so not exactly sure what's going to happen. And
So it looks like Ziegler picks up a technical foul. I think you're exactly right there, Sophia. I think the referee did not like that he slammed the ball. And so it looks like Ziegler will pick up a technical foul. That will be, that's a personal foul on him, and there will also be a team foul on Heights. And Keller able to convert the first free throw here. And that could be a crucial moment there, Sophia.
could be.
As we head into the fourth quarter, Keller able to knock down the second as well. And Kapaun will also have possession. So potential 4, even 5-point swing here as we head into the final quarter.
Yeah, this could be huge. And Kapaun, they need to recognize the situation they're in and capitalize on the opportunity that they have been given.
And now Powers gets the thing ball. Back to Shibley. Now Thingball drives, gets it over to Powers. Powers goes up. That's no good. Antiel couldn't get it to go. Now a fight for under the rim, and it comes flying out of the... I don't know what happened there, but it will be Hyde's ball.
I'm not sure. I mean, you got to give credit to both Ancio and Thingvall there, trying to get the ball, but it looks like they were fighting for it amongst themselves. So
now 5 seconds left. Let's see what Heights can do. Up by 8. Williams with it. Drives, loses it, and a foul called. 2 shots as William heads to the line. Wow. Not something I would have expected there, Sophia.
yeah, and not really sure. It was hard to see from this view, but something like that at the end of a quarter, you don't want to give the ref any reason to call a foul. Whether it's an obvious foul or not, it's important to, try to avoid that as much as possible. But props to Williams for, getting in there and drawing that foul and converting on his free throws.
Well, regardless, both teams will head into the final quarter with 8 team fouls, And Sophia, the only 2 key players that are in major foul trouble are Dominic Shibley with 3 and, of course, Ziegler with 3. And so it all comes down to this. 10-point deficit. Kapaun's going to prove what they got here. So
Yeah, and you got to see how it's such a low-scoring game. It goes back to both teams really being aggressive on the defensive end. But Kapaun, we've seen averaging above 60, I believe, per game, and only at 25 heading into the fourth quarter.
Both these teams averaging, 60, 70 points. They've both had games where they put up 80 points. So, just really shows you how defensively excellent both teams have been here tonight. But particularly Heights. Anytime you're holding a team that has outscored their opponents by over 130 points, just phenomenal to hold them to 25 points. And so we'll get started. Here's Heights. Will be on offense to start things off. And near alley-oop. Now heading their way. Kapaun with a good opportunity here in transition is Ancio able to convert. And Sophia, a good way for Kapaun to start here if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, and now they just got to focus on getting that stop on the defensive end. But Williams there for the little putback.
And now Johnson gets at the thing ball. it back to Charles. Now Kapaun moving it around, still down by 10. As Thingvall moves, finds Johnson, back out to Shibley. Shibley to Charles. Charles from the mid-range. That is good. Down by 8. Let's see if Kapaun can get a defensive stop.
I like to see the urgency that Kapaun is playing with. You know, they're going at it. They're ready to score, looking for their shots, and then just going to be aggressive on the defensive end here.
And it looks like a 5-second violation called here against Heights, so it would be a turnover. And Kapaun will have possession. Back out to Johnson. Johnson looks around and finds Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall. Over to Ancio. Ancio drives, puts up the reverse. That's no good. Nice tip in by Will Thingvall. Now down by 6, Crusaders with a real opportunity to make a statement on this possession. Foul going to be called on Dominic Shibley. And wow, that sends Ziegler to the line for 2 shots and gives Shibley his 4th personal. Wow, Sophia. That's a monumental play right there.
Yeah, and Ziegler needing to convert on these free throws.
He hits the first. So he'll see a second. Keller comes in for Shibley. And now Ziegler on his second attempt collects himself. And that second attempt good as well.
And now Heights taking a timeout. So Kapaun cutting it to 6, and now
back up to 8.
Back up to 8. That is correct.
But they had something going.
Yeah. Kapaun, still plenty of time in the game. Kapaun having, the momentum behind them. They're doing a great job playing as a team, finding the open person and converting. That's something they've been struggling with this entire game, converting on those opportunities. They've done that the past few possessions, and if they want to get back into this game, they got to keep doing that.
And I mean, they had a good thing going. I mean, that was a rough foul, but I mean, they were playing good defense, and if they get those defensive stops, if they can string a couple of those together, this is going to be a real ball game. And so I'm also very excited to see. I mean, this is just one of those moments where, I mean, Kapaun's obviously a state title contender. I mean, no one's arguing that. 8-0 to start the season. So, I mean, these moments really give insight into what this team is really made of and what they're capable of as we head into the home stretch of the season, or the back half, not the home stretch, but the back half of the season. Yeah,
and I think this entire game has been a great learning opportunity. Obviously, it's not done yet, but just the first half and, beginning or third quarter and beginning of this fourth quarter, Kapaun is going to be able to learn a lot from this game, and it's really testing what they're able to do. And so let's see if they're going to make a comeback.
Now Will Thingvall has the baseline, but no. Back out to Charles. Charles. And you see Kapaun now being very mindful about the shots they take. And now Keller, shot no good. And no whistle. Let's see what Heights can do. Up by 8 with the potential to make it a double-digit lead.
And Kapaun really stepping up their defense. Charles, you saw trying to deny the ball there. And Ancio with the steal.
And now Charles in transition. Oh. A foul called, but Sophia, I mean, that's a time you got to convert.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, he tried to jump stop, and then Heights still making a play blocking it. But great job by Thingvall being there, getting that rebound, and then obviously a foul called.
So here we go. Will Thingvall at the line. First attempt's good. Will Thingvall, second attempt to cut it to 6. And that one no good. So now the lead remains at 7. And so now kick out 3 for Holt. That is good, and that is a 10-point lead now for Heights.
And it's going to be important here that Kapaun continues to move the ball and move it quickly.
And they give it to Heights. Wow.
I thought, one of the Heights player might have tipped it there as it went out of bounds, but regardless, it's going to be Heights ball.
So now Williams brings it up, and you see it here. I mean, Heights really going to try to start soaking up this clock. And now another foul called here, and that sends Heights into the double bonus. That gives Antio a second personal as well.
And Williams getting in there, trying to, obviously he drew the foul there, but just being aggressive, attacking is very helpful.
And, Heights with the right mentality. Let's see what Williams can do. That's no good. Now Kapaun. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson. Nice pass to Antio inside. Antio way up good. And Kapaun not done yet. Just over 4 minutes left to go. And if Kapaun wants to make a comeback, it has to start now.
Yeah, and they got to show their defensive skills. They're a great defensive team, and they got to use it now to their advantage.
And now a shot and a charge. Great job there. And that gives Robinson his second personal, and that sends Kapaun into the double bonus. And so lucky stop there for Kapaun. Now I've got Gockenberg on the offensive end. Now Antio. Back to Johnson. Johnson. Great defense here by Heights. Back to Charles. Now Keller. Now Johnson inside. Back to Keller. Keller for 3. That's no good. Now Kapaun in need of another stop. And Kapaun really needed that 3 there.
Yeah, and Heights in the position where, they're not in the hurry. They don't need to score right away. They're just going to take their time on the offensive end.
Now Williams. Oh, you've got it. And timeout going to be called. And that will be the 4th timeout taken by Heights. And they'll have 1 remaining. And Sophia, 2:50 left in the game. Down by 8. What are you doing?
I mean, I keep mentioning plenty of time, 2:50 in a basketball game, a lot of time. And Kapaun, they have to get a stop. We've been going back to that the entire game, but they got to get a stop. And then they've been doing good. That shot from Keller was great 3-pointer, almost went in. But shots like that are good shots. Sometimes they're not going to fall, but trying to convert on those is very important.
Exactly right, and we'll see what Kapaun can do. Eck with a little bonus here on the timeout, and he still has one remaining. And so we'll see how he decides to use that down the stretch. And so
and now both teams coming out of the timeout.
Be Heights ball. So Kapaun in need of a defensive stop here. And now Ziegler dumps it off to Williams. Now in the corner for Holt. Holt back to Williams. And to Williams through the contact, able to knock that one down.
That was just a good play there by Williams, getting able for that to go.
And just denied. Wow. Great job there by, I believe that was Wilkins. Now Johnson gets it to Keller. Keller, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Wilkins. And Sophia, things starting to look really clear.
Yeah, I mean, Heights totally in control of the game. They're controlling the tempo, getting those rebounds. And it's just hard when you're in Kapaun's position, 2 minutes remaining, down by 10, especially where you can't foul, and then you foul like that. It's tough.
I sent Okra onto the line. And that gives Will Thingvall his third personal foul. Now Johnson, deep three, that's no good.
And another foul called, and that looks to be on Ancio, and Wilkins will head to the line.
And Kapaun, I mean, this is a bump in the road. And Kapaun takes their final timeout. But, I mean, Sophia, obviously it's not the end of the season, and sometimes it's good for teams to experience a loss, especially midway through the season. I mean, you learn more about yourselves through losing than you do winning, and so.
Yeah, and it's good for this to happen, like you mentioned earlier in the season. Great for them to experience this, and they got tournament end of this week, so obviously they're gonna take some things from this game, capitalize on those, and then head into their tournament confident. They can't let something like this deter them.
Exactly right. And, we'll see what Heights does with the rest of their season. Obviously, we'll now move into first place in the G-Wall standings. And Kapaun now going to be playing from behind. So it'll be a very pivotal matchup. It'll be the final matchup of the season for both teams, actually, of the regular season, that is, as the final match of the regular season will be Kapaun versus Heights at Heights. So be a very key matchup.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
And now Wilkins at the line. First attempt good. And see what Wilkins can do with his second attempt. And that one no good. And Kapaun will have possession now. We'll see what Johnson decides to do. I mean, he's a real threat from the perimeter. Let's see what he can. Nope, he's going to take a mid-range shot. That's good, however. Brings the lead now to 11. And now Kapaun with the press. And Sophia, I mean, that's something that I might have liked to see a little bit earlier on in the comeback. But regardless, let's see what they can do with it. And Williams makes them pay.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned with the press, the only thing maybe Kapaun was thinking is heights in the bonus. And so sometimes with a press, you're more apt to make those silly fouls. And so that could have been a thought process there.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm not judging. I mean, the last thing I would want to do is question the coaching of Coach Eck. Obviously a legend in the game, and especially in the Kansas basketball. But see what Wilkins can do now. Back at the line, shooting 2 shots.
First one does not go. And neither does the second one.
Now Johnson, 3, no good. And that should just about do it as we pass the 50-second threshold. Back out to Holt, and it looks like Heights just trying to milk the clock as much as they can.
And an alley-oop to Williams.
And I mean, Sophia, it's kind of an unwritten rule in basketball. You don't do stuff like that when you're up big, especially in the final seconds.
Yeah, hey, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think the players feel too good about it either. But regardless, the final seconds will take off here as that will end this game. And the final score will be 36 Kapaun, 51 Heights. And so, Sophia, valiant effort. Season's not over. That being said, we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Next time you will see us, won't be for a while actually, as Kapaun will head down to, I believe, El Dorado for tournament play. And of course, if you can, go out and support the boys, and of course check in on Twitter and whatever outlet you can to figure out how that goes. Wish the boys best of luck as they move. Now they fall to 8-1, as now Heights move up to 8-1 as well. And with that, I've been Gabriel Breidenbach.